Well, today is the final day of 2024. How are you feeling about that? Have you looked back on the last year that we've just had? I have. So if I think of where was I in January of this year compared to where I am on December 31st of this year, pretty dramatic changes. And you're probably the same, right? So we've had some highs, we've had some lows, we've had some tough times, we've had some really good times. And that's for sure. But I find I'm a little bit hard on myself, and you probably are too, is that because I take the risks and I take the chances and I look at what are the ways that I can grow, not only for me personally, but also for me professionally, right? So when I do that, it's very public in terms of what I attempt to do and attempt to change. Beginning of this year, I looked at making a business change that after a couple months realized it wasn't the right change. So it was, you know what, time to hit the refresh button, time to go back to basics. Actually, it's take me back to where I began back in 2007, and reflect on what did I do then, and what am I doing now, and where is my disconnect. And it was doing a little bit of soul searching and figuring that out. So I did, and I would probably say by summer I had taken Tony Robbins' business mastery course, and that was the reset that I needed. And I find we all need a reset on something, right? So health was a big reset for me this year. I took care of my personal health. I did that this year, and changed my hair. Like I've done everything. It was one of those 2024 years, and I'm super excited about it today. While I was going through all the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs, it was hard. Not gonna lie. There were some days it was tough to get out of bed, and there were some days where it's like, you know what, you bounced out of bed because you couldn't wait to start the day. So, and I know you're probably the same. And even when it comes to finances, let's say that, because I know that's been a tough year as well, right? In terms of finances, because I'm going to speak to you like I speak to everybody else. And I went through it as well, especially I have a rental property that is on a variable rate. So that was pretty tough. It's like, and it's still not done. I did sell the property and it closes next year. But there's some financial struggles that came with that as well. But when you weigh everything out, just like I do with you, I had to do it for myself. So I walk the walk and I talk the talk because I'm right in the trenches with you. And in the end, it was more beneficial for me to sell the property at a loss than it was to continue on. So if you are somebody who's in that similar situation and you don't know which way to go, please reach out and talk to me because I will talk to you about that all day long. Send me an email and just say rental properties, and you and I can have a chat about what does that look like for you, what has been my experience, my personal experience with rental properties over the last 10 years. I'm very open about that, and I totally welcome that conversation with you because there's pros and cons to everything, and sometimes we all hear the pros, but we don't always hear the cons, right? So I want to talk to you firsthand as to what that looks like because I'm in your corner. I'm in the trenches. I do it just like you do it. And then I'm variable rate. So, and I'm up for renewal next year. And people are asking me, what are you looking to do? What I do and what you do, totally different. But am I open to having a conversation with you about what I personally do for my finances and for my mortgage? Absolutely. And if you want to have a chat about that too, just email me, mortgage options. We'll book a time and we'll talk about, my personal experience with that. And I'm very much an open book. Just like you are with me, I am with you, right? So nothing is off the tables. So we'll have a conversation about that. The other thing I've talked to a few people about this year is separations. I too, it's been about 14 years since my ex and I went through a separation, but I've been there. I know what to expect. I know the highs and the lows. I know what you're going to need. I know what you need emotionally. I know what you need in terms of advice, in terms of what we can do together. And even if it's just you need a sounding board of what can I expect? We're in a tough place. Can we have a conversation? Absolutely. Email me separation and we will book a time and we will talk about that too. Right? Anything that you want to talk to me about, nothing is off the table. And I'm here to have a conversation with you. We're going to talk about our little first time home buyers. Love them. Whether you're younger, older, middle age, anything, you're looking to purchase your first home, we've had a lot of mortgage rule changes just in this last like month or two, right? There's a lot of changes that are coming to the forefront, which is going to hopefully help us come 2025. The big one I'm going to talk about is when we have less than 20% down. So we're doing a CMHC insured mortgage. With that, we have to, the maximum amortization is 25 years, right? So when we have less than 20% down. But as a first time home buyer, we're now extending that amortization to 30 years, even when we have less than 20% down. So that's pretty big news. And that has made a bit of a difference. I just did that with a client recently. We went from doing 54,000 down to 28 within the guidelines. So the CMHC premium increases slightly, but what it's doing is it's extending the payments because we're extending our amortization, and it's also affording a higher purchase price, which is awesome because we know the value of homes are a little bit higher today as well. So that is one of the big ones that we're going to consider looking at for you. So once we do the application, and anybody that is looking to purchase as well, anybody that you know, whether it's friends, families, sons, daughters, grandkids, anybody like that who is looking and wanting to purchase, then that is definitely a conversation for us to have. We're going to explore all the options, whether we do a 25-year or a 30-year. So that's pretty cool. If you're up for renewal this year, one of the good things is as well is that when we stress test all our applications, so even if we have a better opportunity at a different lender, I still was having to stress test the rate. So if the rate right now, let's choose the median and we'll say it's 4.5%, I have to qualify that at 6.5% in order for us to transfer to a different lender, even if we're not adding any new money. That's just what we've been doing a stress test for many, many years. One of the big changes that came in is now we're saying we don't have to stress test. We can actually use just that 4.5% to qualify the application. That's pretty big. We haven't done that since 2018, so we like that. So it opens up your opportunities come renewal time because your existing lender might not be the right interest rate for you or the right product for you. We might have something better with a different lender. So we're actually opening up the opportunities for you to save kind of thing, to pay down that mortgage quicker, to take advantage of some different lender opportunities. So that's definitely one that I'd love to have a conversation with you about too. The other big one is down payment again when it comes to, or CMHC again, sorry, when it comes to down payment. Right now, we have it that if you're purchasing a property of 999,999, so under $1 million, then we can do less than 20% down because the maximum that CMHC was doing was insuring properties under $1 million. Well, that just changed. So now we've got where we can do less than 20% down with a purchase price of 1.5 million. That's pretty big. So what we would do is 5% on the first 500,000. And then from the 501 up to like the 14,999 is then we would do 10% of that. So, and that would be your down payment. So it works out to be about 7.5% as a minimum down payment. And again, we're going to stress test that. So we got to make sure that you qualify too. So if that is something that you're looking to purchase and you're like, you know what, I know I like that $1.2 million price point. That's what suits me and my family, but we don't have the 20% down. So the 240,000, we can now work with a lower down payment. So absolutely, let's reach out and let's crunch some numbers to see what does that look like for you going forward as we go into 2025 to purchase a property. And again, that might not just be you. That could be for somebody else that you know, friend, family, relative, anybody that's looking to purchase, or they've gone into the bank and the bank has said, no, we can't help you. Doesn't mean just because the bank can't, doesn't mean that we can't, right? So that is, I welcome all opportunities to have conversations. Sometimes it's second opinions. And sometimes it's like, no, what you've got is actually a really good opportunity. And I support that. But at the same token, if I can help you, because I've been here since 2007. And so I know when you go to the bank, because I came from the bank, is that when you go into the branch and you work with that person, the next time you need them, they've already moved on to a different role or different location. So you're starting from scratch. So I'm about relationship building. So if you and I, chances are we've been working together for many, many years, and there's many, many years more for us to work together. So that's what I'm looking to do is it's relationship building, right? So when you call, we have a history. I'm looking, I know what it is that you're comfortable with. We still have those conversations in case anything's changed. And then I'm going to do the same with your kids, right? Because it's all about generations. And I'm also going to do that with your parents, especially if they're looking to downsize and they're looking for a line of credit or they're looking for a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgages um, they have a stigma attached to them, and sometimes it's a lot of misinformation. So I welcome opportunities for the reverse mortgage because we've helped a lot of seniors stay in their homes, and cost of living today is pretty expensive. So for them to know what their options are, absolutely welcome any conversations, which is actually going to lead me into the launch of our 2025 campaign in terms of how can I help you? And it's all about giving back. So the brokerage that I am attached to, I've been with this one for the last year because I made a change in December of last year. Based on that, we now have a promotion that we run every month. So for every time that you send a referral to me, I'm now going to enter you into a draw to win your mortgage payment or your rent payment for up to $2,500 a month. And we pick one person throughout the brokerage to do that, and we do that at our town hall meeting every month. I think it's the second Tuesday of every month. So I'm going to find out: have I seen a colleague of mine, her client just win based on sending her a referral? Yep, absolutely. So I'm like, I am totally on board. Let's jump in, both feet. Let's get that going. We had a few sneak peeks that occurred in December as we were getting ready to launch this for us as well. And based on that is that, so if you have a client or a friend, it's not your client, they'd be a client for me. If you have somebody that it needs a second opinion, they're talking about, they're struggling with cash flow, they're looking to move, they're looking to downsize, they're looking to upsize, they're up for renewal, they want to do a refinance, they don't know what to do. That is an absolutely perfect invitation for you to refer them to me, whether you give me a call or I usually find an email introduction is the best because then that way we can connect. I can send a calendar link. So it's always chatwithgail.ca. You book directly into my calendar and we can have a conversation. And with that, I'm also going to enter you into the draw to win your mortgage payment for up to $2,500 or rent if you're renting, kind of thing. It's we don't discriminate. You get entered in too. So I am really hoping that we can work together. We can help save everybody some money. We can build more relationships, and we can do that for 2025. So that is super, super cool. The other thing we are looking at is that was our campaign. That's what I was just looking at that. Wanted to make sure that we're okay. And we're in great shape. So I hope that 2024 has been fantastic for you. Maybe you've gone through the struggles like I have, and it's all about the lessons that we're going to learn from what we went through. And sometimes we have to learn those a couple times, but sometimes we get to the other side and we're like, oh, that's why I had to go through that, because look what's on the other side, and it's super great and super rewarding. And based on that, I'm here to do that journey with you. And so don't forget, no question is ever too small. No questions off limits. Like if you just want to have a conversation and a powwow as to what are my options or what can I do, or I'm feeling stuck right now and I need to get to the other side. I'm all about that. I've probably walked your walk because I sure talk your talk, and I fully get it. And I am here to support you for whatever journey that looks like for 2025. I know I get just as much out of these conversations by you and I having the conversation. I get just as fulfilled, and sometimes it's just hearing the words in here and having the stories that I am going to learn with you, and we are going to grow in 2025 together onto bigger and better. So I look forward to chatting with all of you. Thank you for everyone that participates in our VIP Club newsletter. We had 24 winners this year because we have 2 a month that we do. That's not changing. That's staying. And we've still got the grand prizes that we offer every month as well. And thank you for your support, and thank you for being part of this community. And I look forward to growing together. And we'll talk soon. Happy New Year.